아 Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the monastery. Fucked it up already. Welcome to the Valley of the Judged. I am your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and with me, I have two of my good brothers here in the temple. The master of the Fistiverse, good brother Joel.
That's me, baby.
And the usual living stack of comic books and the occasional apologist for the Washington Capitals, good brother Doku.
Oh man, you had to throw that one in there at the end, didn't you?
Yes.
You gotta know the score. The people deserve to know.
If I have to deal with one of the
most
most if I have to deal with one of the most bullshit dirty hits that wasn't called earlier this week, then I'm not suffering alone.
Well, I guess we can suffer together. Cheers.
Fair enough. So we're back to night this week, right? We're doing night.
Yep.
Excellent.
So
I've been enjoying this read through a lot.
we spent a fair bit of time going into the character side. Now we're going to be shifting a little bit to the other end of the spectrum. Not the GM side per se, but more of what the state of the world is outside of the cities. And we're starting off with the Overlords. Now,
I'm interested in the Overlords a lot. This kind of reminds me of 13th Age, so I want to see where they go with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the whole since the Anathema started, whole swaths of the planet, as we saw, have been taken over by the Anathema and created different hellish domains. Each of those domains is controlled by an Overlord, who is the central spawning point for any creature of abyss that comes out of that area. This is the central point of all the massive gloom stains across the world. Each of those gloom stains belongs to one of the Overlords. The only reason the Overlords are known about is because of Arthur's report after the liberation of Dublin. And it was given further credence by his association with Niakate, the man who would become known as Merlin. So, he had already documented the differences between the different forms of darkness across the world. And Dagonet is working with them to try and obtain more info on the Overlords and their territories. A lot of that data comes from the missions of various knights, especially ones from Cyclops Division. Though they have some info, but some info is like saying you have a grain of sand when you're standing in a desert. But the Overlords never appear as their full selves. What they do instead is send out avatars representing their aspects.
I like that better than just having them show up. It's kind of rough just having big NPCs just sort of swagger in. Like, you always run into that Darth Vader problem where Darth Vader shows up and you just blast him with the biggest available gun immediately, like completely deflating the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Having avatars show up kind of helps with that. Because even if something humiliating and stupid happens to them, it was an avatar. Fair enough.
There are theories that until Earth is completely overrun by gloom stains, the Overlords can't fully appear.
So this is basically just Bondrewd from Maiden Abyss.
But actually, I think even they'd look at Bondrewd and go, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah, fair enough. Drone warfare.
Mm-hmm. But the thing with them is that each incarnation is unique, but an Overlord can have several avatars on Earth at the same time. It's rare that they make use of more than 2 or 3 at a time, mainly because more incarnations means difficulty of control, and mainly because all of the Overlords are answerable to the Ophidian.
Ooh, I like that name.
And the older an avatar gets, i.e., the longer it's been on Earth, the more independent it becomes.
Interesting. So they kind of become characters then.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
And
that's a really good idea because it means that like whenever you introduce your avatar of that NPC, that becomes that version of the NPC for your game. That's really good.
mm-hmm.
It also gives them a reason to fear their own mortality, right? So that's
Yeah.
good.
And when it comes to avatars, people who try and pick fights with them rarely come out of it the other side. The ones that do have the implication that they didn't beat the avatar or escape it, they just were let go.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. And it might be tempting to think, oh, if we kill an avatar, they'll just make another one. Killing an avatar does seem to weaken an overlord. And it does seem to push back some of the spreading darkness.
Okay.
But moreover, defeating the Anathema is a way to generate hope. A way to show that the fight isn't completely doomed. And you know how it goes. If it bleeds, we can kill it. I'm not doing that in an Arnie voice.
I mean, yeah, but that's like the perennial charge response of players in a TTRPG. If it has hit points, it can die. And I've always admired that attitude.
Although in something like this, I'd say it has more impact because of the fact that this is a Grimbright kind of setting, where hope is a very tangible thing, and so is despair.
Yeah, and so is art as like a living representation of hope. I really like the way they do their theming in this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels very visceral.
Yeah. Now, at the heart of each incarnation is a stone called an abyss crystal. It is completely black. It's small enough to fit in a grown man's hand. This is the core of an avatar. You destroy this crystal, you destroy the avatar.
Ooh.
Of course, if you even if you tear it out of the avatar's body, that is still going to kill it.
So I guess it is, in fact, not wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon.
No, that. Where the heck do you pick up your girls?
But
the dungeon is my go-to place.
The abyss crystal is the heart of that incarnation. This was done as a way for the Ophidian to keep overlords in check. Now first off, apparently if the crystal is destroyed, then that overlord can be allowed to make another one. If it's kept intact, then then the overlord who had it has to find some way to get it back before they can make a new one. On the other hand, holding onto an abyss crystal will eventually cause you to lose all hope.
It's like Lex Luthor holding onto that kryptonite for long enough to give himself cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, boss.
Now, overlords can surround themselves with creatures and minions. These are created purely out of darkness, and essentially shards that can be used as base materials in order to make new servants. The rule that they have to obey is they have to go through the horror abyssal circle, which anything that goes through that circle is changed when it comes out the other side. The beast used animals to assemble its pacts, while flesh chose human bodies in mass quantities.
All human bodies in mass quantities.
And there is a cost to pay. When overlords create these kind of underlings, it does form a bond between them and their master. That bond is paid with a fraction of the shard's power. This is why overlords can't just overrun and pull a Zerg rush on humanity. Because the more of those creatures that they spawn, the less power they have for themselves.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, they could make a theoretical infinite amount, but the more that they make, the more weak that they are, and all it takes is one lucky shot.
I feel like I've seen this episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like the exact same kind of idea there. Oh, heck yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna get this correct. It's beautiful.
Now, then it goes into talking about the Ophidian. The Ophidian, the serpent, is the strongest being in Abyss. Every overlord is obedient to it.
Ooh.
It is not, however, the most active. And only became active because it developed a taste for despair.
Ooh. As we all do.
But it tends to favor playing the long game, but it has no problem forcing others to obey it. But its particular domain is Asia. Its domain stretches from Egypt to Afghanistan, from Georgia to Yemen.
That's a big one. That is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, some of this art in this chapter is glorious.
Yep.
Looking at the what page is this on? 184 art is just that's everything I want out of the game.
And it essentially created a wall of darkness that surrounds its territory.
Hmm.
Which almost feels like it's creating its own feeding pen to feed on the despair of the people within it. A lot of the people in those areas don't even know about the horrors on the outside because they have to deal with horrors of searing light on the inside.
Man, I've been designing things that are like so close to this with the Ashura in my game. It's really I love whenever people take on these gigantic concept god things. Like there's just something just so nifty about them. Like, and I love this image of it here on 187, where it's just represented to this huge Yarmoon-Gander-esque serpent that's like slithered on top of a pole. Actually, did Sephiroth do this?
Ha!
Okay, we can continue.
You know, the vibe of this artwork is really making me think of Stephen King's The Mist.
Oh yeah, that's a good comparison actually.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Agreed. This was fantastic.
The Ophidian doesn't take part in a whole lot of events, and even in the Abyss, the only creature that's under its control are the serpents. In theory, all other overlords serve the Ophidian. In theory.
He's the big boss.
Mm-hmm. The big
In
boss,
theory.
he doesn't... He seems to simply be content with not moving and just feeding on despair.
Nom nom nom.
The the closest ally that he has is the young horror. Probably because it is providing him with despair.
Fair enough.
Versus now, as far as rivals, well, the main one is the Hawk. When the Hawk disappeared, other entities started making their own moves. Some of them being known as the Orphans of Creation. One of them is known as the Fool, who is considered a sworn enemy of the Ophidian, as the Fool is a balancing force.
Okay. Well, the Fool's a pretty powerful tarot, so I get the idea.
It is the zeroth tarot.
Zero.
Well, how else am I supposed to call it?
No, you got it.
Well, it's the zeroth arcana. It's not the first arcana because that's the magician. But there's not a whole lot of forces that the Ophidian brings to bear, because one could argue the forces are through the other overlords that are subservient to it. But before I get to the next one, the lady, I need to step away for a minute. Sorry about that, folks. So I will hit the BRB and I will be back shortly.
Fair enough.
are back.
Howdy,
After
folks.
Joel recovers from talking about feet pics for 5 minutes.
I didn't do, don't tell them that. Don't tell them about me. Just lie.
The
No.
foot awakens.
Revenge of the Foot. Actually, that sounds like
Oh,
a great
no.
Turtles movie.
There's an entire fandom that could be built around this, and I don't want to see it.
Nor do I.
It's not the right night to start using Croc. All right, let's talk about Knights some more. This
Yeah.
is gonna get bad otherwise.
So, the next one of the Overlords they cover is the Lady. The Lady is the second Overlord, and the only one that assumes a feminine appearance.
Your slipper, my lady.
Few of the
Jesus.
other shards even care about presenting gender. Although the beast and the flesh tend to mimic one or the other and have their creations procreate, imitating as an imitation of nature.
Okay.
But the Lady was the first shard awakened by the Ophidian. It needed a living matrix to help it model the next Overlords, and the Lady was created as a surrogate mother of sorts for beings that were never meant to have one.
Okay, I'm calling it right now. This sounds OP. And I like it.
Yeah, I really like it.
The
Oh, you still there?
the Lady is
Okay,
supposed
there
to represent peace and life, but since she came into consciousness, she's only known war, whether it be between Aether and Abyss or between humans on Earth.
Is this pulling from paganism? Because this sounds very pagan.
I mean, it seems like it's at least inspired by
Yeah.
it.
And again, I like it. It fits perfectly.
There was an attempt to try and make beings that were part human and part Abyss.
Ooh,
How did that work out?
Well, the Ophidian decided, hey, I'm going to use these as infiltrators.
Ooh.
Pretty sure I saw that anime.
And
It didn't turn out well.
Yep.
It's all fun and games until somebody starts saying, "Where's father?"
Yeah. And then the Lady was struck by a realization. So long as humans and the Abyss existed, there could be no peace. That bitterness completely overwhelmed her, both towards herself, towards other Overlords, towards the Ophidian, and towards humankind.
Well, that's not good.
When she was offered territory as an attempt to mollify her, she chose the Sahara, far from her siblings and as far as possible from humankind. Shunning any offer of alliance, she shut herself off in a huge fortress of ice at the heart of her domain, and is not taking part in any war of shards.
Well, I can't blame you for retreating to your own fortress of solitude.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So, like, what's her involvement in the actual like setting then? If she's just like kind of on her own little place doing her own little thing.
She was used to help create the blueprint of creating other Overlords.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I get you.
Well, benevolent path, not giving a damn about what you do, or malevolent path, plotting how to screw you over. Nobody knows.
And
Nobody knows.
now her attitude is she just wants everything to end.
Oh.
And when I say
Malevolent
everything,
path.
I mean everything.
Oh. Hyper malevolent path. That is definitely not good.
And yet she dislikes killing, probably because part of her aspect was life. So her idea of creating death is, well, freezing.
Oh crap! Full circle contradiction. That's narratively Really
And
interesting. I like that.
her domain is dotted with living ice statues, most of them former African warriors who attempted to challenge her. Her power keeps them endlessly frozen, on the razor's edge between life and death. Oh, that's even worse.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds like
I was
hell.
gonna say that sucks.
I can't go in there, Charlie. That's hell.
Hmm.
Oh wait, Mildred, doesn't this remind you? Did you ever play Kingdom Under Fire: Circle of Doom?
I still have it.
Doesn't this remind you of what is it, level 4 or 5? The ice level.
Yeah, I could see it. I know
It reminds
because
me
of
a lot of that.
I know because of my gimmick, some people might look at a Lady of Ice and go, wood. No. Because I know what Frostbite does to sensitive areas.
Oh yeah,
And I'll leave
everybody
it at
thinks
that.
everybody thinks Yuko Oni are cute. No, they're not. They're terrifying. Like you think the hot ice chick is friendly. Yeah, she might come across like that, but no. do not fall for it.
I will occasionally remind folks that there about the burning incident when it came to Imo Koivunen in the cabin. If I'm in a cabin with the Yuki Onna, I'm making sure that I have at least a flamethrower or a message in a bottle.
Preferably both.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably both.
Hmm.
On the other hand, it would be an ironic death to fill a Yuki Onna's cabin with liquid nitrogen.
That is ironic and hilarious.
Oh, now we're getting into secret level types of things.
No, the case of
That would be funny as hell.
let's see who's colder.
You know what? That's a fun premise for a situational scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the dice gods decide.
Well, I've already done that. I've already done that thing in the past. I told you guys about the fake court incident where my method of negotiation was an iron nail bomb in a fake court.
Oh.
Of course you would.
Said nail bomb was on a dead man switch as well.
Yeah, I shouldn't expect anything less from you.
These are the kind of stories you get after you've been role playing for more than 10 years.
Somebody had once
This
said,
would work.
you know, this place is you're surrounded by guards who are willing to shoot at you just for showing that thing. I was like, yeah, and they'll go down too if they kill me, because as soon as I'm dead, the thing goes off.
There is no correct answer, only an answer.
Mm-hmm. It's a case of, yeah, I can't win, but I can make sure you don't either, because I don't have to. That's
kind of why I had such a dick move, but I love it.
That is the heart of crashing out. I don't care. I don't have to win. I don't care.
I believe in the heart of crashing out.
I don't care about winning. I just want to make sure nobody wins.
See, here's the difference, though. If you're gonna crash out, you can do it in one of two ways. You can either flip the table over, give everybody the middle finger, and storm out and look like a complete asshole, or you can crash out with class and make everybody else at the table sit there and go, it doesn't matter what decision I make, I'm screwed no matter what. Which one's more satisfying? Because I would personally go with the latter.
Mm-hmm. But...
And I'm sure you would too, Mildred. That's because we're both assholes.
Yeah. Would it surprise you at all if when I was given free reign with a karaoke machine in college, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have some fun, and I'm going to karaoke the asshole song.
I can see
No,
you
that
doing
wouldn't surprise me, and I would probably be the only person in the room that actually thought it was absolutely hilarious.
They didn't know any better. They thought it was just gonna be a natural song, and then they slowly realized what I'm doing. But
No.
And then you play it again,
yeah,
and then again.
the well, if I really want to get somebody triggered where I live, I can just play Closing Time on loop.
we had this conversation, and yes.
Now, some of you will think, well, of course it is. That song's annoying as hell. Of course, people will get triggered over it. Unless you have lived in the Midwest, you have no idea the inescapability of that thing back in the day.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Fuck off. Anyway, the lady's incarnations tend to be of a female human. It's believed that it's second nature to her because she's been around long before things went to shit. But even horror could not dull her appearance. She's described as looking like an ice sculpture bordering on perfection.
Oh, she's Shiva Red.
And her avatars are the ones most capable of mingling with humankind without notice.
Yeah, the more you explain about this, the more and more terrified I get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything else is scary in its own right, but this is just a lot of nope.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm good. Like, please stay in the Fortress of Solitude. I'm okay.
Her avatar, one of her avatars is the Matrix, which was described as a beautiful mute woman.
That makes it even worse. Not only is she pretty and perfect, she's mute too.
And had spent her early times looking for mates, as it were.
Because of course.
And that she was basically a means to create the part human, part darkness hybrids.
Ooh.
Usually with a gestation period of only 3 months.
I'm getting a real echidna energy from this lady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, I guess if you want to give me the proverbial middle finger, okay, cool. Congratulations, you succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want this to be the final boss because I know I'm gonna lose.
But
yeah,
as when Ophidian decided to use those hybrids for its own agenda, the Matrix was, on one hand, didn't raise a finger to help its own progeny, but on the other hand, didn't help any side and just retreated. Was eventually found by another avatar known as the Queen. Both of them could not bring themselves to kill each other, owing to their own parent. And instead, the Matrix was turned into a hideous insect-like monster, with only its face remaining as its former appearance, and then imprisoning it in a huge edifice of ice in the lady's domain.
I mean, sure, why not? Can it get worse? Well, yes, but does it need to? Not really, but sure, why not? Let's just scale things up for the shits and giggles of it.
I mean, this game's scaling is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I particularly love this one. Hey, I'm the bringer of life. Oh, I've decided that, you know what? Death is the only real option. Okay, I'm gonna make life so that I can kill you. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
Also, here's an insect monster, just cuz.
Mm-hmm.
Just cuz.
But the only all of the said insect monster, when it came to the Matrix, would essentially form what could be described as the queen ant of a massive, massive ant colony. Just
Oh, it gets worse.
and because of the way it's set up, none of the Matrix's creations can speak.
Oh, so they're terrifying and mute.
They also seem to communicate and relay information by smell.
I mean, yeah, create
Gross.
create life for the purpose of trying to kill you, but also let's just ensure beyond any shadow of a doubt that your last 30 seconds to 1 minute are as terrifying as possible before you die.
Imagine if you're smelling a threat.
Even
right?
if it says, even if an interloper survives the many warriors and drones protecting the nest and manages to approach the Matrix, they would quickly be drowned by an intense barrage of pheromones and become another slave to it.
Oh, gross. That's so gnarly. Arg, the pheromones. I'm a slave.
And I thought the hive of the Mantids in Turok 2 Seeds of Evil was bad, but they just had to one up that one too.
Yeah, no joke.
And remember, you're still in the lady's domain, so it's still fucking cold all the time.
Oh, fuck that.
Like we talked about this before. It's like in the negative 80s in that area.
Jesus Lord.
I mean, this just sucks all the way around. Like, there's nothing good about this at all.
Yep.
Great setting though. I mean,
then there's the
well
Queen, which
achieved.
was the incarnation created to find the Matrix and deal with her, which is why she is completely immune to pheromones and any sort of bargaining attempts. She also has a bit of a cruel streak.
Because of course.
Yeah, well, she seemed like super nice until you said that.
You got to emphasize it though, just in case you were picking up on it.
And ever since she fulfilled her mission, the Queen has been largely inactive.
That's the one good thing I've heard so far.
I'm down with that. Like, less from her sounds good.
Yeah, agreed.
Of course, even if she's not active, she still has her pawns being active because she is well versed in deceit.
Oh, I guess I spoke too soon.
So she's not directly active, but she's still everywhere through her pawns and will destroy you. Cool. Rad, cool. Love that. Love that. Super happy about it.
One of her older avatars is the Temptation.
Because of course it is.
A representation of warmer time.
So we don't have a direct fuck you. We just have multiple, slightly less crappy indirect fuck yous.
Lovely.
All right. I lost already. I mean, just tell me how bad it's gonna be.
The Temptation is Charm Manifest. Whoever deals with the Temptation will always see it in the best light possible, even when there's several parties involved.
I know I said this is OP, and I like it. I still agree with that statement and sentiment, but you didn't have to ratchet it up from a 10 to a 20. I get it. She's the win button. I do like it though. I do like it a lot.
Yeah. Like, the Temptation was a avatar that was formed when the lady was still trying to create some measure of peace between humanity and the Abyss.
Oh, don't tell me she's like the split personality.
Well, the problem is, ever since the lady went cold, nobody's seen the Temptation. And because the Temptation tends to be a social butterfly that can blend in easily, is able to is able to assume any number of appearances, it's all but impossible to find her.
Oh, so she's not the split personality. She is the personality. Great.
Mm-mm.
That's worse.
On the
And I guess-
other hand, her manipulation tends to create contradictions. She tried to play Merlin when he was given the first meta armor. Except he's like bros before hoes, and extensively modified it and create lesser versions, which meant the temptation couldn't even control it.
Damn. In-universe chat move.
Oh.
We have memes playing out in universe.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
But she doesn't. But the lady as a whole does not lie, at least not often. But there is such a thing as half truths.
I was just about to ask, what do you mean not often?
Mm-hmm. But there are some glaring weaknesses. One, two of her avatars are diametrically opposed. The Matrix represents life, whereas the Queen plots the death of the world. Although I do like this. The latter may have imprisoned the former in a tomb of ice, but if the Matrix happened to get free, it could become a true ally of humankind.
Alright, we need to go save the bug.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like you could have a really satisfying campaign pitting her avatars against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I swear that's a plot line from a video game. I'm not joking. That is a plot line from a video game. I'm just trying to remember what video game it was. I know I've heard this plot line before.
Yeah. But
I'm sure somebody listening to this will know what I'm talking about.
That's a pretty common plot line, is like making the thing with two different dual natures fight itself as like your method of victory.
Well, no, it was specifically a Nintendo 64 game. I want to say Nightmare Creatures, but I don't think that's correct.
no. Although I have a love-hate relationship with Nightmare Creatures.
Yeah, that was that was a frustrating but also entertaining video game.
Oh yeah.
Especially that frickin' sewer level.
The funny thing about the ladies' avatars is one of them is indirectly responsible for the creation and proliferation of meta armor. If there's any word that I think could describe the lady, it is contradiction.
Yeah, there's a lot of contradiction in this, but like in a fun way, like a dual nature way.
I think it's a contradiction by design, because the lady was meant to represent life, and yet that has been twisted by despair to think that she's the only life that is worth existing.
Oh, meant to represent life, but desires to kill.
No, she doesn't kill. I made that clear earlier.
Yeah, it's fate worse than death style of killing, so it's always fun. Hooray.
Oh, like the warriors that surround the lady's domain are still, even though they're frozen, they're still alive.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks to that fate worse than death.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
But and obviously because of that, the lady has very few full-on allies. And
gee, I wonder why.
potentially the Matrix prodigies could be allies even if they became aware of the state of things. Though when it comes to rivals, well, the Abyss, the Mask, and the Shadowed Man are two of her biggest rivals. The Mask is pretty obvious. The Mask is a manipulator. If everything is dead, there's no way to manipulate.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Whereas the Shadowed Man, well, the lady is responsible for his exile. And he didn't take it well.
I wonder why.
I mean, she could have done worse to him, like, demonstrably.
Yep. Though the Shadowed Man is a weird case. Of course, on the other hand, both the Mask and the Shadowed Man know of the lady's ultimate goal, and obviously they don't want any part of that. In the vein of why would I want everybody dead? Or want the world dead? The world is where I keep all my stuff.
The world is where I keep all my stuff. I love that.
Kind of like how in, say, Warhammer, the worst thing possible would be for any of the Chaos Gods to have a victory.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, whenever they describe things in the warp, it's all this, like, roiling maelstrom of misery and horror. So it's like, oh, that's victory for you guys, Mrs. Chaos Space Marines? Really?
Well,
like, that's what you want to happen?
Here's the thing. If Khorne were to win, there's nobody to fight. If there's no more blood to be spilled. If Nurgle wins, there's nobody to share his love with.
No one left to love me.
If Slaanesh wins,
There's no more hanky panky.
then Slaanesh would just get bored.
Yeah, no more hanky panky.
And if Tzeentch wins, well, he's
Wait a
got
minute.
nothing to scheme against.
Yep.
They all kind of define themselves in opposition to something, and if they actually got what they wanted, it'd be like a dog catching the car. Like, oh, good, wonderful. This is useful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's because every chaos god is an extreme in its own right, but if you only have one extreme and no balance amongst the others, then well, there's nothing.
And of course,
in which case, no chaos god can exist because they are quite literally dependent upon having something to justify their own existence.
Agreed.
and of course Malal. Well, if he wins, then there's nothing for him. Then there's nothing for him to be against.
Yeah, and yeah, a lot of people don't talk about the chaos god of evil or benevolence, depending upon how you look at it.
I
this
never saw Malice / Malal as evil or benevolence. I saw him as the Void.
And it kind of is like that because they sort of are one and the same.
I never heard of this guy before. I'm not super deep into the 40k lore, so
This is a bit of a deep cut, and it was originally called Malice, but it's one of those cases where if Games Workshop acknowledges that means they have to pay a writer from the early days when they still had an association with 2000 AD.
Yeah, and they really don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to be fair, let's be honest, and I'm just calling it now. I know
by
it's a
comics
sidetrack.
writer John Wagner and Alan Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is super old.
And I know this is a sidetrack, and I'll get back on the rails, but I'm just going to call it now. The 41st Millennium, Warhammer 40k, it's going to end with Orcs versus Necrons versus Tyranids. Everybody else is screwed.
But getting back on the rails, the next one is the Flesh. This was the third of the Overlords. and it decided to create its particular part of the world out of East Asia. It's been pushed back somewhat thanks to massive attacks by the Nodachi. But it wasn't really a victory because it was told to push back.
Yeah, that is.
It is the domain of the flesh is vast swaths of flesh and bone.
Well, that sounds pleasant.
That sounds gnarly as hell.
Like
but I can finally get a use for that copy of Fleshscape I got a few years ago.
Yeah. Like the trees and vegetation look normal from a distance, especially with all the darkness. But on closer inspection is made of hands, teeth, and bloody skin.
Oh, that's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Fleshscapes. They're just great.
Mm-hmm. But
does it make noise? Like, do we have like finger clicking and squishing noises going on with this too?
Yeah, give me the squishy clickies.
Yeah. And there are... It is essentially... Because the flesh was essentially used human bodies as its medium, it does have certain human anatomy weaknesses.
The flesh is pretty weak. The spirit's willing, I've been told.
So in other words, bring me the heavy flamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't. This is another case where it's like, yeah, it's not going to kill you, but what it's going to do is probably worse.
Yeah. This seems like another one of those fate worse than death kind of scenarios.
First off, it removes the means of communication, and then it starts to work.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
As I laugh nervously.
Yep. It does have three. It does have three avatars. Perfection, the most commonly seen one. It's more often used as a communicator. It tends to take the appearance of a humanoid, but you could not mistake it for an actual human being. It will not wear any clothing whatsoever. It is described as the appearance of a perfect human being, and it is a very manipulative mind.
That's creepy. I don't like that. Never mind. I want to go back to the lady. I want to go back to the ice mommy. Let's go back to ice mommy. I don't like that.
Go back to ice mommy.
Yep. And but if it wants something, it sees it as a means to upgrade its own form. Because even though it is called perfection, it can never truly be perfect.
I reiterate my statement. I want to go back to Ice Mommy. This one does not. This one sounds bad. I do not want anything to do with this one.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Bulwark is the avatar that appears when the territory of the flesh is under attack by a significant enough threat. It can take many forms. It assimilates all organic material nearby to grow or heal itself. Could spring up from the vegetation of the flesh's territory, or from human beings facing it, straight from the bodies of an opposing army. It can grow as large of a building and has the appearance of a huge tree made of skin, blood, and thick muscles.
Oh, so I'm going to be punched in the face and impaled by a giant middle finger. Great.
A plus, love that.
It builds outwards from a central trunk containing dozens of beating hearts, adding more as it goes to keep the blood flowing to its outer limbs. Branch-like
So I
veins
can't.
covered in nails and teeth whip and flay any who get near. It is capable of speech after a fashion, but the cacophonous wailing of thousands of mouths screaming or roaring all at once is difficult to understand.
So I
It is
get a
a
drum beat and a mocking chorus as I get impaled by a giant flesh middle finger.
now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I love the insult to injury energy that's got. That's wonderful.
Mhm.
All right, anyway, Mildred, I've given you another half an hour past what I actually could, so I'm gonna get some sleep, buddy.
No worries, man. Stay frosty.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying this. I love this game. Just unfortunately, I get up really early for my job. So farewell, everyone. I will see you in the Fistiverse.
Later, Joel. Have a
Yep.
good one, brother.
But then there is the proliferation,
That,
whose
that sounds
time
like
on
fun.
Earth was short-lived.
I feel like there's a but.
Mm-hmm. The proliferation was born in the heart of the flesh's domain. It started out small, grew quickly. At one point, it was as tall as a 10-story building and was still growing, looking like a misshapen giant baby. Oh God, it's Akira. It's always Akira. The whole domain of the
I've
flesh
seen
is
this.
fucking Akira.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've seen this anime,
Hmm. Uh,
and I want to hit the opt out button.
yeah.
I want to go back to Ice Mommy.
The proliferation went west, shedding thousands of piss-covered buboes that burst as they hit the ground, splattering their surroundings with voracious, fleshy vegetation. The air around the incarnation was saturated with the foulest diseases known to mankind. It's a great unclean one.
I was just gonna say, Nurgle, why?
Hmm.
Why? This is not love. This is not love.
And the only reason it was able to be destroyed was because of a organization called the Black Cell that used suicide bombers armed with nukes.
Oh,
Suicidal soldiers entered the creature itself and detonated a nuclear device inside its thorax.
You know what? I can understand why. After hearing the description of what this entity is, you know what? Actually, I get it.
Mhm.
I understand completely. Hey, just exterminate us. I get it. Just don't even try. Just nuke it. Nuke
Yeah.
it from the ground.
But it's funny that the proliferation and the forceful dragging of its body back into the flesh's domain was deemed as a violation of the rules by the judge. And because of that, the gloom stain for the flesh considerably shrank.
It just
The humans
sounds
saw this as a victory.
nasty. It's not dead. This is definitely not a victory.
Mm-hmm. The flesh plans to remake the proliferation, but not as a clumsy infant, but as a human-shaped adult.
Oh, so it wants to be perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
But one could say that the flesh is probably the most human of the overlords, and is always evolving. It also likes to give bargains or try and give temptations to people to join it.
Oh, so it can barter and negotiate. That's
Well, that is part of the purpose of perfection, to be its negotiator.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, not for humanity. But...
Though of the ones we've seen so far, this is one of the more active ones. Ophidian and the lady are very inactive.
That actually kind of makes it more scary.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a
Yeah.
actively trying to go out and negotiate and bring people to its side.
Mhm.
Again, I would rather just go back to Ice Mommy.
Yeah.
Ice Mommy sounds really, really nice by comparison.
Its next target is India.
Oh, because of
It covers
course.
all of eastern China, from the middle of the country to the coast, as well as Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia.
Oh, so it's a continent-sized monster.
Mhm.
That's 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 fun.
The thing that's been slowing it down is the fact that Nodachi has been carpet bombing it for the longest time.
Great. So we can go full World War II, and that's slowing it down. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Um, I mentioned grabbing the heavy flamer.
Mhm.
I suddenly have a feeling I'm gonna need a bigger flamer.
Yeah. The now, of course, because of the events that were mentioned, like the proliferation, backfiring, and the whole thing with the judge, it's had to lose significant amount of territory. Um,
Oh, so this is the small scale version of it.
mhm. But the closest ally that it has is the beast, and by ally, they've had an agreement that they won't try and get in each other's way. The beast has domain over the animal kingdom, and the flesh only claims humans.
Oh, so that as humans, this doesn't benefit us in any way, shape, or form at all.
Mhm. Of course, that's an on-paper agreement. Neither of them intends to keep their word.
Oh, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Hmm.
I say as I laugh nervously.
Yeah. The only reason they somewhat work together is because they know that if they start throwing hands with each other, their siblings are going to join in the fray, and nobody's going to win.
Very, very chaos god Warhammer 40k esque.
Hmm.
Which also considering southern China and India, what could be worse than a tiger, except a chattering pseudo zombie monstrosity flesh tiger?
Ah.
Yeah, checks out.
Hmm.
Could,
And
could
because,
someone,
but
could someone
even
go
with
wake up
that,
Ice
it's
Mommy?
managed to infiltrate Hemera Genetics, who their whole thing is improving the human body. So of course, some of the Flesh's own children have infiltrated that company.
Oh, so it's got genetic hacking abilities too.
Mm-mm. On the other hand, the Flesh has a lot of people who hate it. Obviously, Avalon and the Nodachi, but they hate all Anathema. The Nodachi have a particular hate boner for them because, well, the Nodachi are centered in Japan. So,
Bro, just tell me how many swords
close
you need.
proximity.
Like I said, bro, just tell me how many swords you need.
Hmm.
They're all yours. Best of luck.
Though the closest thing to a pure enemy is the next one that we're going to cover, the Machine.
Oh. So it gets worse.
The Machine, it holds sway over anything technological.
Ooh, that's definitely not good.
Hmm.
That's really bad.
Yep.
And don't
It's
get me wrong,
first.
the other ones are bad. That's really not good.
Yeah. It first showed up while everyone in the east coast of the U.S. was reeling from the Red Plague. And with all the technology all over just the tri-state area alone, it overtook all of it to build its area.
Oh, great. Let me guess. Let me guess. We're going. I have no mouth and I must scream.
No, no, and think less of that and more of City 01 from the Matrix.
That's not much better. But okay, that's I guess.
Hmm.
I guess maybe you have a 0.01% chance of holding on to hope.
Yep.
As opposed to be completely screwed.
Hmm. But pretty much anything that could be controlled from a distance with remote linking could be accessed by the machine within its territory.
So in other words, the entire East Coast is fucked.
Most of North America is under the machine's domain.
Oh. I was being too generous in my assumption then.
And was able to use the electrical currents in brainwaves and the data within the human body. Was used as a means of controlling the humans in its territory, and because of the effect of horror, people attempted to augment themselves.
Oh, great. So it can also biohack.
So
And also make you want to put machine parts in, which then it also has control of.
did you ever play the 2006 version of Prey?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in that kind of territory here. It's
the more this goes on, I said it as a joke originally, but I'm actually kind of more serious now. I just want to. Can somebody just go wake up Ice Mommy and be like, "Hey, all this other stuff sucks. Like, you can kill me, but like, can you do something about these guys? Because these guys absolutely fucking suck."
oh yeah. But
how is she the best outcome?
Praising with faint dams.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. none of this is good. It's all terrifying. And I love it. I'm a huge horror fan, so I like it. I just also don't see how you win.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think this setting might be more grimdark than Warhammer 40,000 actually is.
And yet there's a heavy current of things suck, but we are making it better.
And to me that is just absolutely wild. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's impressive, and I have a lot of respect for it because this setting could be extremely grimdark.
Mm-hmm.
And also it blends a lot of different horror elements from things that I really, really, really like and puts them all in one setting. And I just think that's cool as shit.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the avatars, oddly enough, is a spanner in the works. That being Guinevere. Guinevere is an AI built within the massive data that is the Overlord, and was created.
Is she in the tri-state area?
It's hard to say, but it was created when the Shadowed Man decided, you know what, the machine needed to have a weak spot. When the Shadowed Man went renegade.
I'm starting to like the Shadow Man more and more. Take it back. Sorry, Ice Mommy. I'm defecting. I'm going to the Shadow Man side.
Yep. And Guinevere essentially acts as the AI assistant to Arthur's armor.
Interesting twist.
Mm-hmm. Uh, but of course
What was that, Mildred? What was that anime where the dude had the sword that was talking to him?
do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Good point.
Mm-mm.
It does sound like one of those things where it's like, I'm not necessarily your friend, but we both have a common goal.
Mm-hmm. The thing is that the reason why the machine can't do anything about it is, remember what I said before. The longer an avatar exists in the world, the more independent it becomes. And this was made even more so due to the Shadowed Man's influence. Guinevere is an AI formed out of the machine's data that is completely independent of the machine.
Oh yeah, that could go south real quick.
The Shadowed Man even named the thing Guinevere as part of his own amusement.
Cheeky, kind of a dick move, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect it.
But after that, the Overlord created a second avatar called Longshot.
Sure, that couldn't possibly go south.
Which the thing about Longshot is it is effectively a network of mercenaries. one that anyone who's got 100,000 credits to spend could put them in an escrow and designate any target they like for Longshot. It is an AI built to be something like the MRPC in BattleTech.
I mean, given the setting, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But also just, yeah, sure, why not? Everything else is over the top and sucks. So like, yeah, sure. Let's just add more to the fun.
Oh yeah. And then there is the avatar known as the body, which is the only material extension of the machine on Earth.
I'm probably speaking too early, but that sounds like the least terrifying thing so far. And I'm sure that is 100% not the case.
Yep. And the body is a massive machine that towers at about 1,000 feet and has the destructive power to match. However, it is incomplete. The reason it's incomplete is because it was supposed to have a specific consciousness assigned to it. That consciousness is... There seems to be an implication that consciousness is Guinevere.
I was just about to say, it sounds like Guinevere had a different purpose, but...
And... when it comes to the machine itself, its behavior is difficult to figure out. It is almost Borg-like, and of course, anything that can connect with electronic devices or with networks, it's able to take control over.
It'll be fine. Probably. Maybe.
And a knight fighting one of its avatars could get taken over. Not the knight itself, but the meta armor could.
Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Hey, hey, you're inside your armor and everything. Yeah, that's cool. I'm just gonna take that over real quick, and you just get the awesome experience of being stuck inside while
Mhm.
I do whatever I want.
Yeah. And the irony is that even with the planning power that the machine has, its pawns are not as controllable.
Oh, I just thought about this. So, congratulations if you're inside a suit of armor, a suit of metal armor, and you get literally puppeteered. You're being puppeteered by an AI entity that isn't really all there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
Yeah. To make things worse, Longshot is installed in Kaneda's meta armor. Iwata Kaneda, the head of Nodachi.
Oh,
But it doesn't have to act directly. It utilizes the bounty hunter setup that Longshot established.
so we're going back to drone warfare then.
Hmm.
I mean, it adds for a lot of different dynamics.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like fun. Hey guys, I'm inside this ultra powerful suit of armor, but I'm also being puppeteered by I don't know which AI at this point in time.
And
It could be one of three.
what's even funnier is there within that bounty hunter network there is a group called the Nine that are double agents.
Oh, did I say it could be one of three AIs? I take that back. I could just be lying about the whole thing.
Hmm. But then there is the Beast. The Beast is Lord of all wilds and all fauna. And it is the one that's feared the least by of the overlords known to humankind. Its territory is a large amount of Europe. And
Yeah.
it tends to have the strong will survive not only against its enemies but even its own servants.
Oh, so it's corn.
Oh. No, it's the Wild Hunt.
Well, okay. Actually, yeah, I can see why it's feared the least because, well, it's probably the one that's not gonna screw me over.
Oh.
If I'm gonna get completely destroyed, at least do it in an honest way.
Yeah. Though it prefers nocturnal hunters for its servants. And two of its incarnations are the Predator and the Monster. The Predator is the one most known, since it's been seen at the borders. And its main motivation is hunting and bloodthirst. It is basically looking for prey worthy of itself. The Monster, on the other hand, is one of the few incarnations humankind has beaten.
Okay, yeah, this one easily sounds like the one I would rather deal with.
And a man managed to defeat the Monster, and was given a seat at the right of Arthur. That knight would be Lancelot. The Monster was not a hunter; it was intimidation.
Oh, that's an interesting twist.
Mm-hmm. And thus an amalgamation of different types of beasts, having bat wings, shark jaws, crab pincers. Why am I thinking of Karas from Battle Tendency? Not Karas, Kars. You know, the ultimate
Accurate.
life form.
Yeah, no, it accurate.
Uh,
Although I will say, this one compared to the others seems ever so slightly underwhelming.
I think it's the beast. Its whole thing is predator-prey relationships and the rule of the jungle. It's not lacking
Well, it's
in
because
intelligence, but it prefers to follow instinct.
I was gonna say, out of everything, this one seems the most quote unquote fair.
Mm-hmm. But before we get further into it, I have to step away once again for a moment. So I'm gonna hit the BRB again.
Gotcha.
So hold on. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Ah. It seems the approach that the beast has is corrupting other animals. It starts by drawing a species' natural inclinations to the extreme. Dogs throw off domestication to form feral packs, cats ferociously guard their territories, and both shun their former masters. Then it starts to twist their bodies. Accelerated Darwinism forces surprising mutations on animals, allowing them to adapt to their new nature and to the encroaching darkness.
And compared to everything we've talked about thus far, relatively mild.
Mm-hmm. Humans near the beast's domain have suffered physical mutations. Children rescued after being lost in the shadows for a while have modified muscle structure, sharper teeth, and eyes capable of seeing in the dark. A few Ark citizens have been exiled to reject communities after showing signs of animal characteristics such as scales, gills, or webbed hands and feet.
Stand by my previous statement. Compared to everything else up to this point, relatively mild.
Yeah. However, unlike some of the other overlords we've covered so far, the beast does not like to bargain.
Wait, the other one did?
Technically, yeah. The flesh had its own negotiator, and the temptation, well, it's kind of in the name.
No, I thought that was kind of just more of a, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I feel like this one's just more fair. Just straightforward to the point.
Mm-hmm. But it has learned to manipulate humans.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Saying, whereas where its influence spreads, an individual's desire to protect itself and its own spreads too. A person in the beast's thrall might start out wanting to protect humankind, their circle of loved ones, their family. As its hold grows strong, their belief of whom needs protection will waver. Themselves above all else, of course. But would they be capable of giving their life for one of their offspring? To ensure a group's survival, must they not first think of their own? The true extent of the beast's influence is discovered all too late, when mothers are caught feasting on the flesh of their children to fill their own stomachs.
Oh. Oh, okay. I guess I am proven wrong yet again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. And when it comes to instincts, and sorry, my model decided to act a bit weird for a second. It is not just limited to the instincts of feeding, but all natural instincts get flared up if you're unprotected for too long in the beast's territory.
Oh, I'm sure that never leads to anything bad or unpleasant, ever. Probably.
I suppose a worst case scenario would be something like the Reavers in Firefly.
You know, I wish I had this clipped on a soundboard. The Team 4-star Dragon Ball Z abridged. Don't drop the soap.
Yeah. Now, the beast's territory is over a large amount of Europe, from Germany to half of Italy, all the way to Naples. I'd imagine the only thing that keeps it from going further eastward is the fact that that's getting closer and closer to the territory of the flesh.
Yeah, I'm sure those two would quite enjoy a cup of coffee.
It does seem to enjoy Greece as its hunting ground.
Geographically, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Though a lot of the reject communities in those areas have made it difficult for it to extend its territory. Also, we have a nice little image of what the predator looks like, and it is a anglerfish on steroids. Which I suppose makes sense because deep sea life is nightmare fuel.
That's putting it mildly.
I often have to remind people that the design of the Reapers in Mass Effect is heavily inspired by the Reaper cuttlefish.
Yeah, the ocean is a fascinating place.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no desire to go diving. For obvious reasons.
What, you don't want to put your life in the hands of a trustworthy company like Ocean Gate?
I mean, I guess if I'm gonna play an Xbox game.
You know, it was really funny when James Cameron just roasted the Titan submersible over an open flame, and people were like, "Yeah, but he's a film director. What the hell does he know?" I'm like, more than most. It's not like he's done whole courses on deep sea diving and done more dives than anyone else on the planet.
Yeah, and again, let's just assume, okay, that's even not the case. You had a submarine that used its control system hooked up to an Xbox controller. This wasn't giving you red flags?
Oh, that and honestly, the red flag was long before that. It was when I saw that they were using carbon fiber.
Oh, Yeah. Well, a lot of people actually wouldn't know why that's a red flag.
It was for me.
Yeah, but a lot of people would assume like, oh, it's carbon fiber, it's stronger than steel, according to my 5-second Google search.
Carbon, as strong as carbon fiber is, it's still a fiber. It's still made of a bunch of threads.
Yeah, that doesn't really do too well when you're in a fluid body. No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Like, it might work in the air, but not necessarily a fluid body that's under pressure.
Now, for the same reason that it's a different energy when using aluminum for a plane versus a car frame.
Yeah. Like, look, great on the racetrack. Pretty good when you're talking about, just general airframes. But there's that whole problem about being under extreme pressure and extreme temperatures, which is why you don't really see them in submersibles or rocket ships.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. But anyways, the closest thing to an ally that the beast has is the flesh. Although, again, when we say ally, I'm doing that with massive air quotes.
Ally in the same sense that Korn is allied with Tzeentch.
Mm-hmm. There is something of an agreement with the mask. If only because the territory of the mask has a lot of artwork, and that artwork causes pain to overlords. On the other hand, the beast knows that knights are going to come to try and retrieve that, and it considers knights a worthy opponent for hunting. It would like to add Paris to its collection, but Paris is way too heavily defended, even without an arc.
I mean, I want to say it could be worse, and I hesitate to say that because I know it's probably true.
Mm-hmm. So they've entered into something of an agreement where the mask will help, on the condition that some neighborhoods and a few buildings are for its own.
Oddly reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust it.
And speaking of which, the mask is a representation of everything that is hidden, every secret you conceal or try to uncover.
So I definitely don't trust it.
Mm-hmm. It is lies and misdirection incarnate, but is also drawn to truths. It seems to enjoy twisting truths and hiding it as secrets.
I really hate how this one seems like the most honest one out of everything. Mm-hmm. Knowing that it is the one built upon lies and misdirection, but yet somehow still feels way more honest and less fucked up than everything else.
Though its desire for knowledge to keep to itself isn't just limited to humans, but also its own siblings.
Oh. No, that makes sense, actually.
It especially wants some of the secrets of the Ophidian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing.
It doesn't really care about territory as much as it does abducting individuals, studying them, going through their minds, and then taking those secrets.
Pretty sure I've seen this anime too.
Mm-hmm. But
none of these are good.
Mm-hmm.
They're just all different. They're different flavors of what is your worst nightmare? Because we have a proverbial banquet, a buffet of which one do you think sounds the worst?
Mm-hmm. But as far as its incarnations, you have the wall, which can appear on any flat surface that's large enough to house a white face. All it needs to do is
Oh.
talk and watch, and it doesn't need a body for that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not something I've seen in a horror movie.
It wants to obtain information and bargain with humans. It will block hallways and summon walls around a person in order to get them to talk.
Oh. Oh, well that's just fantastic.
It doesn't want swift, easy victories. It prizes words above all else. It likes to draw debate out and delay every concession as much as it can.
Oh, so it's a dick.
Any
Okay.
person with secrets to hide has the wall's attention, and will go to any length to get it. The harder the secret is to obtain, the more the wall takes pleasure in finding a bargain that'll work.
I mean, sure. At this point in time, sure.
And surprisingly, any bargaining session that ends with a trade, it always holds its end of the deal. On the other hand, it
No,
really,
that
really
freaking-
hates being cheated.
Yep. Uh, this is not a. I've seen this anime. It's I know this Grimm's fairy tale. I know how this ends, and it's not good. It and oddly enough, still not the worst.
I think earlier you said the mask is the most honest one we've seen so far.
Actually, I still kind of stand by that though.
Mm-mm.
Well, actually, no, I take it back. The Beast is the more honest one.
Yeah. With the
This one's just kind of an asshole.
The Shadow is a spy's spy. As long as there's enough room for a mask, the Shadow can make their appearance. It can emerge from hiding if the surrounding light isn't too bright, because it is a master of darkness and half-light.
That's well, actually, no. After everything we've discussed, yeah, to be expected.
Mhm.
Sucks, but not game into myself type of suck. Just expected
And-
levels of suck.
While the judge forces the mask to abide by any bargains it makes, any trickery is fair game to the mask.
Now that could go in a
I.e.
lot of different directions.
It feels it is still following the rules if it lies to reach one's goals, so long as no promises to the contrary have been made towards those being tricked.
Oh, so okay, it's like that then. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be worse, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny is when things started turning to shit, the mask was also trying to look at these strategies and tactics of its siblings to see who was worth siding with because they had the most chance of winning.
You know what? Reasonable. See, the reason I like the mask more than I do the Beast, even though I think the Beast is more honest, is while the Beast is the more honest one, the mask is the one that I have a better chance of reasoning with.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else just kind of sucks.
Yeah. The mask sides with a lot of parties, and a lot of them are just temporary alliances at best. Nobody else likes the masks, but they don't take. But disliking the mask doesn't mean they don't take it serious.
Well, I mean, you should. Well, If it was me, I would definitely take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering he can just pop out of frickin' nowhere
His
and then
manipulation
frickin' troll
also
you to
created
death.
the secret society Nox.
Oh, so it has a cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
The one, the one, the one overlord who doesn't play any of the mask games is the lady.
Ice mommy.
The mask has attempted to get inroads to the lady's plans, and they've all failed.
Yeah, she's still the one that, not from a visceral standpoint, but just an overall, I still think she's the scariest one.
Mm-hmm. But then there is the judge, who is basically justice incarnate, an unbiased, unfeeling judge.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And the judge essentially is the incarnation of the rules that all of the overlords have to follow.
Oh, they probably hate him.
Well, the mask especially hates him because he's the most intently watched by the judge to make sure he's not breaking the rules that it agreed to.
No, that would never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
But
Wait,
this is the only overlord that doesn't have incarnations because it never appears on Earth. It does have its servants known as the Triarchs, but it does not have avatars. Or at the very least, it is not chosen to make any avatars.
That's definitely not intimidating in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. But the judge's main goal is to keep balance between all of the other overlords and make sure everyone is, quote-unquote, following the rules.
Oh, great. So it is the gods of chaos, but with somebody making sure that the kids play nice.
Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, the only time it appears is if it feels that somebody is breaking the rules, which again is why it has an attitude of, and fuck that guy in particular when it comes to the mask. On the other hand, it also means everybody, because of the fact that it's confining them to certain rules, the other overlords don't care for him much.
Again, all of this is completely understandable.
Mm-hmm. But then there's the Shadowed Man, the eighth shard, and the pariah among the overlords.
I have a feeling this one's going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. As far as why, it could be traveling to the Earth without permission, or disobeying the Ophidian for too often, or some say it committed worse acts that are unspeakable that led to its banishment.
I thought it was kind of odd when you mentioned traveling to the Earth without permission.
Mm-hmm.
That should probably be the least of my concerns.
He has stated that he was banished because he gave humankind the gift of writing in a flight of fancy, or because he once fell in love with a human woman. Though, I don't believe either of those is what happened.
Yeah, that's it's one of those things where, considering everything else we've talked about up until this point, I would be raising my BS flag on that one.
Mhm.
It's like, no, that is definitely not the reason. Like, tell me what you really did.
Yep.
Actually, no, take it back. Do not tell me what you really did. I do not want to know.
On the other hand, it developed a curiosity for humans and defied the Ophidians' authority by creating several incarnations, usually using the bodies of the recently deceased and wearing them as humans would wear clothes or makeup.
Oh, so it's one of the flayed ones from Warhammer 40K.
I don't think it's meant to be literal. More of it would take somebody who was recently deceased, bring it back to life as its vessel, and go about whatever it was doing with none the wiser.
That actually that that actually does make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's a flayed one, except the flayed one hasn't gone absolutely crazy.
Yep.
It's sentient and still smart, and also has a mimic ability. Fantastic.
The Shadowed Man has been on Earth for about 5,000 years. He The main thing that made him go rogue was his feelings toward a human woman, a woman who would later commit suicide. In the years since, he's wandered the world, sometimes watching, sometimes getting his hands dirty in historical events. He can pass as an everyday man or woman, although one with a certain degree of magnetism. He is one of the immortals. One of the people who were instrumental in the current state of things, especially when it came to the construction of the arcs. We talked about that earlier on in the series.
I vaguely remember it.
Mhm.
I'm just at this point in time, I'm more just overloaded with how OP and crappy everything else is.
Yeah. With the Anathema coming to Earth, the Shadowed Man feels as if his own territory is coming under assault. He views humankind as his people and sees himself as their ruler, and sees the intrusion of his siblings as a breach of territory.
It could be worse, maybe. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Actually, no. Take it back. It could definitely be worse.
Yep. There are a couple incarnations. One of them being Ishmael Jalham, who is one of the 24 immortals, as the founder of the Bird Corporation. Founder and CEO, I should say. So a lot of the high tech stuff that Avalon has is thanks to that corp.
Strong Wayland Yutani vibes.
Yeah, although I feel like the Shadowed Man is the closest thing to a nice Overlord.
I mean, yeah, it by extension when it comes to everything else, yeah, probably.
Mostly because remember what I said before. The more that incarnations are on Earth, the more independent they are. The Shadowed Man has been an Overlord that's been on Earth for 5,000 years, and has been mingling with humans in that time.
Well, and also, it's the only one that has been explicitly mentioned where, oh, it has an interest in you, and that interest doesn't involve wanting you to die.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it good? Probably not.
Yep.
But by extension, it doesn't necessarily mean it wants to kill you. More so, it finds you interesting. It wants to observe you, maybe have a conversation, sit down for a cup of coffee. So, even if we go to the next best one, which would be the beast, that's still exponentially worse. Hey, which one do you want? Do you want to be mauled to death by a tiger, or do you want to sit down and have a cup of coffee?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take the cup of coffee.
And he seems to be cold in public but have fits of emotion in private, which could be a reflection of the fact that he was changed by an influence of the Hawk, which is one of the few things that was associated with Aether, the opposing force of Abyss.
So it might be one of the only entities you might be able to build a legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go as far as to say alliance with, but mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah. And something that is sort of amusing is the mask tried to get some of Ishmael's secrets and ended up getting fooled. He got nothing but misinformation out of him.
Okay, now that is hilarious. That's amazing.
Oh.
The trickster himself got fooled.
Mm-hmm.
How the tables turn.
Though this is where things get interesting. His goals are described as dominion over humankind, but rather than being a tyrant, he wants to be the savior. He wishes to see humans win the war, and him being part of the people who led them to victory.
Okay, I stand vindicated on this one. It's the only one that you can really not trust, but rely on to not necessarily want to kill you right away. Later.
When he did beg to get back into the Abyss, all that his siblings ever did was listen to him before sending him back to Earth. So he doesn't much care for the other the other overlords. It's like, you guys threw my ass under the bus and you want me to help you? Fuck off.
Oh, so he's the problem child of the Overlords, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, those guys suck. I'm just gonna side with you guys. Screw them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you know what? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. All right.
Yep.
Like,
his only real territory is the London Ark because he helped build it. Oh. He has now the Ark in Sydney is run by essentially costumes. He doesn't create servants. He instead just hires humans through the Bird Corporation, or has the people in his Ark do things.
That immediately makes him better.
If he's showing up, he may show up in certain disguises, but he isn't creating his own monsters. And of course, being the head of a massive conglomerate gives him certain pull.
So he's basically the only quote unquote nice guy out of all the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. And his organization is one of the primary sponsors of Avalon.
Oh, so I was a little bit more on the nose with my statement than I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically all those other guys suck.
Mm-hmm.
Here, go do stuff with them. Go beat them.
Yeah. But he never acts directly. So I'd almost compare him to the Elusive Man circa Mass Effect 2.
Oh, that's a good comparison. I was trying to think what he reminded me of. That's actually a really good comparison. I'm not necessarily benevolent, but I'm also not your enemy.
Though if we want to stick to dark fantasy, I could also bring up the Skull Knight.
Another good comparison, although I think Elusive Man is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. If only in the sense that, no matter, regardless of intent, he has positioned himself as an enemy to his siblings.
Yeah, it's again, it's really drawing on that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, while also at the same time, and I like this aspect. It's at least from the way I'm hearing it. I'm more interested in humanity than I am my own siblings, so therefore my predisposition is I'm more inclined to side with you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to side with you all the time. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm your friend, but that one time out of 10, things could go south.
I suppose I could also draw parallels between him and the Discworld version of Death. As much of a crackfic as Discworld is, and it is the original crackfic. Death finds that humans make existence interesting.
Okay, yeah, all right. I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down. That, yeah.
And something to keep in mind: Death took on a human apprentice. Said human apprentice eventually had a daughter, so Death technically is a grandpa.
Yes.
And there was the whole thing of him having to pose as the Hogfather for a day.
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. Oh, sorry. Had to cough.
Yep. But then they go into the final shard, horror.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Horror is meant to gather despair. Everything that because of that, everything horror touch gets twisted and changed. It is also the only overlord that does not have a form.
Oh.
It instead, at least in terms of a static form, it often will take the appearance of a swirling mist.
Oh, so it's ethereal.
Mm-hmm. And by Ophidian's command, all servants and incarnations of an overlord have to travel through the circle of horror on their way to Earth. And
strangely enough, this one doesn't really. Oh, the other ones raise more red flags than this one does.
Mm-hmm. But when it comes to its incarnations, we have Nightmare, which can shift an appearance from a werewolf, a witch, any number of monsters or creatures in the Anathema. It depends on the victim's fear, so... Oh, fuck me, it's Pennywise.
Yeah, it is. It is Pennywise the frickin' clown.
But its other avatar is Rumor.
Oh, fuck that. No, get out of here. Like, no. Stop it.
It is basically propaganda manifest.
Yeah. This just, bro. Can we not? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it, but like, damn it.
It is the youngest shard. It doesn't have any domain, and it doesn't need one, and it doesn't compete with the other overlords.
Okay, now that's kind of OP. It.
And on the other hand, almost all the overlords hate horror.
Because of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
It. Why are they making me side with horror?
And when it comes to the final thing we'll get into, the Abyss. Anathema and Abyss may refer to the same thing, but they are different things. Abyss is the world of the serpent. And the two primordial beings, the hawk and the serpent, were separated and isolated from the planet. The Abyss is separate from Earth. It is a whole world in its own right, made of darkness, and is the birthplace of Anathema. Anathema is the abyssal manifestations on Earth.
You know what? This one makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could it be worse? Probably.
Yep.
Does it make sense for the setting? 100%.
The overlords are shards of the serpent. When the shards regained consciousness, they became those overlords, which almost makes them like part of the heads of Orochi.
Oh, I didn't draw that parallel, but yeah, I could see that.
Yep. And it used to be opposed by Aether, but Aether was defeated. And when it comes to Anathema, well, for starters, sunlight actually is harmful to them.
Now, thankfully we got one thing working in our favor. Even if it's a ever so slight and somewhat cliched thing working in our favor, but again, it works for the setting and it makes sense. So I have nothing against cliches. Yeah. I think they exist for a reason, and when they're well implemented, and I would argue in this setting, in this instance, it is well implemented and well warranted, especially considering everything else feels very not hopeful.
Yeah. Part of the reason
it's actually...
they also have an explanation for why art is such a big deal. Art is a manifestation of the pure imagination, passion of creation. Emotions run rampant of the hawk, the cosmic force that opposed the serpent.
Dude, I'm never gonna get past the fact that the Grim Hope game feels more grim dark than Warhammer 40k does. Like, it's kind of throwing me for a bit of a loop. And don't get me wrong, I like it. Like, I think it's great. It's just...
And before anyone asks, no, copying art doesn't amplify the effect. In order for a work of art to have its effect, it has to be an original creation or performed by talented creators.
Barrier to entry.
And technical perfection is not enough. It must create raw emotion in the viewer. And it has to, and masterpieces have to have been seen by millions of people over the years. The passion of a piece also is a factor.
That's actually really clever. That requires a certain attention to detail that I appreciate. Cat, what do you want?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry if you can if you can hear that or not. There's a cat that wants something. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Nico, what do you want?
Of course, that kind of thing is kept a closely guarded secret.
It wouldn't be interesting if it was just out in the open, would it?
Mm-hmm.
Or...
Yeah, it might also create issues, but
no.
So no. That's all we have. That's all we have for this week. When we come back in next week, we'll be exploring the opposition. Next week is going to be all about the bestiary, as well as opposing forces. Which
honestly, this one was probably the most lore dense one that, at least me personally, that with us talking about Night, that I've personally been a part of.
Oh yeah,
and I really like the setting.
So, what's been your take on Anathema and the Overlords?
Sorry, you cut out for me. My take on Anathema and what?
The Overlords.
Ooh. Honestly, what it feels like to me is Anathema and the Overlords are really just extreme exemplifications and personifications of base human desires, but manifested in such a way that it becomes a quite literal antagonist for the story setting, and I like that. If I had to boil it down, at least how I view it personally, it's almost like you would be playing a game where you have to fight the absolute worst aspects of humanity. Like your own personal desires, your own personal flaws, and then by extension the same things that that society would have. This is gonna sound really cheesy, and I'm gonna acknowledge that right here up front. It's gonna sound really cheesy. It's almost like you're having to acknowledge the own worst parts of yourself, and then you have to be forced to fight against it.
Which does fit the heroic horror that we've covered.
Yeah, in a way, it's actually, well, not in a way. It's actually a it's philosophical. Because again, when you're going through talking about all these different things, it's like, okay, what does this actually represent? And why am I more afraid of one versus the other?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, none of them are good. It's just what one would I rather side with, knowing what all the others represent? It really does make you kind of like stop and pause and think like, okay, why is this one bad, and specifically what makes this one bad? And don't get me wrong, there's quite a few that there's nothing good about them at all, period. But then there's also some where it's like, well, is it bad? Yes. Is it worse than the other one? Like, do I side with the Mask Bro over here, or do I side with Ice Mommy, or do I go with the Beast, or do I just want to die to the gigantic fucking flesh monstrosity that's living on like roughly 1 or 20% of the Earth? Like, again, there's no right or wrong answer. There's just a different flavor of wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, considering how much everything frickin' sucks, again, very, very grimdark themes going on. I still think I'm gonna go with my original answer. I would rather just be frozen. Like, just freeze me. Everything else kind of sucks. I'm good. I don't know the outcome of all the other ones, so I'm just going to go with the absolute most static, guaranteed answer, knowing it probably sucks the least in the long run. So yeah, just freeze me. I submit to the Ice Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oddly enough, is probably the best option.
Yep. On the other hand, as much as there was jokes about the scale of things, it helps establish the other part of what I mentioned before, that yes, things are very, very bad, but there are people trying to make it better.
Oh, and also, to be fair, we also I forgot about this one. We do have the problem child that decided that he wants to be on our side. So maybe I will not. Maybe I'll not submit to the Ice Queen. I'll side with the problem child first, but if he loses, then yeah, I'll go with the Ice Queen.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing else to lose, I suppose. If he loses, we're all kind of screwed.
Yeah. But with that said, that will wrap it up for this particular episode. We will be back here next week as we get into the bestiary proper and the monsters that are tied to the various beasts.
I mean, I'm sure it can't get worse, right? Right.
Why do you ask questions you know the answer to?
Belcher, can you hold my hand? I'm scared.
No. But like I said, we'll be back here next week with that, so keep an eye out for it. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.